Hey, this is Solano again. I work for Conte's bike shop here in Washington, D.C., and today we'll be changing out the handlebars on the e-scooter. So today we'll be installing a new set of handlebars on the scooter. Handlebars are a preference kind of thing for handling, just preference, you want them a little bit longer, right? Or the reach and the stack of it as well. So we're going to be removing all of the units, the grip, the brake, the unit, the LCD, the remote, and all the other stuff on the other side. So we're going to first start off on the ends. We're going to remove the grips off of here, then the brake, and then everything else on that. So to remove the grip, we're going to grab our 3mm Allen key. We're going to loosen up the bolts. There's no need to remove them all the way. We just want to get them loose, right? Once the grip is loose, right, we're just going to pull it off of here. Right, and then you're going to get a plug at the end, so you can have these two items on there. Let's start by removing off on the other side. Removing the grip. Just going to loosen up the bolts. Second bolt. Pull off the lever, and then we're going to have the lever and the plug at the end. And then we're going to remove the brake lever. We will need to remove some zip ties that are holding all the wires in here. So we're just gonna cut these off of here. And what this is gonna do is gonna allow us to have a lot of more free room on here. All right, then we're gonna remove the brake lever using our 4mm. So we're going to loosen up the brake lever. The brake lever is loose. We're going to move down to the remote on here, which is going to be a 2.5mm. Loosen it up. That's loose. We're going to loosen up our LCD. Then we're going to loosen up the brake lever on the other side. Once we have the brake lever loosened up, we're going to loosen up the throttle lever, which is a bolt hidden right under here. Right, that's going to be a 2.5mm on there. So we're going to grab our 2.5 and then loosen it up. I'm going to move this out of the way so that we can now loosen up the remote. That's a 3mm. On there, I'm gonna loosen it up. Perfect. Now we're going to loosen and remove the stem bolts off of here. All right, now we're just gonna loosen and remove some of these wiring harnesses. Man, that one does not want to come off. Perfect, remove that. Remove that. And go on the opposite side and then remove those as well. Tight. get our plate out. Now we can remove our brake lever. All right. We can move over the LCD, remove the LCD and remote. On the opposite side, we're going to remove the lever, brake lever, throttle lever, and then our secondary remote. Let's reinstall it. All right, so now that we have all the units removed, we're going to grab our new handlebar. Then we're going to install our LCD in here, our remote as well. Perfect. All right, then we're going to install our secondary remotes. So we're going to install the throttle lever. Now we're going to install our brake lever on each side. Perfect. Now we're just going to install our handlebar back onto there snugly so we can reinstall everything else wiring wise. Gonna grab our 4mm and our plate. Going to put one of these on there. Right. Going to move the wires so we don't pinch any wires and just tighten this up a couple of turns. Grab our second one. All right, so now once the bolts are snug, we're just gonna rotate the handlebar, right, and then make sure that this line is, both of those lines are even on both sides. So I'm just gonna slightly loosen this up a little bit more so that I can turn it. Perfect, now those two lines are almost equal. All right, the levers we wanna push up a little bit more on there so that these two lines are equally as well there. Right. Now that the handlebars are on there, we're going to tighten down our stem, and we're going to tighten it down in cross pattern, right? So we're going to go up here, down here, cross, and then that way. And we're just going to all the way around, right, making sure that they're all evenly tightened down. And then we're going to reinstall our grip on side, install the plug. Push this. Tighten it down with the 3mm. Push in the plugs. Install the second grip. Tighten it down with a 3mm. I think these caps are gonna work on this one. Yeah. Reinstall the caps on there. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the brake lever closer into the lever. Now we're going to move the brake a little bit We want it to have a little bit of room on here, so about an inch, maybe less than an inch or so. Tighten it down snug. Okay. I'm gonna go to the opposite side, do the same thing. And then typically with brake levers, right, when you're on the scooter itself, you want the levers to be as straight, you want a straight line as possible to your hands. That way when you're riding, if they're too high up, you're putting a lot of strength on your wrist, right? So you're pushing a lot of stress there. So if it's flat, you're not gonna be putting a lot of stress on there. It's equal pressure on there. So these look pretty good. I'm just gonna tighten them down all the way down. So now we're going to tighten down our throttle lever. It's a 2.5 on the bottom end side. Down. Then we're gonna tighten down our secondary remote on here, going on there, and then we can just rotate it. It just has to be snug. Then we're gonna go on the opposite side and then tighten down our remote. Tighten down the LCD, and we want the LCD to be pointing upwards. Tighten the LCD down. Perfect. We don't want to over tighten that. Then we're just going to reinstall all of the wires, right? Red on red. There are little arrows on here that indicate how they go, so we're going to pop those into their slots, making sure they snap on. Perfect. Going to go onto this side. All right, we have green, red, and yellow, so we're just going to locate the green one, which is this one. Right, there are little arrows on here. We want to match up the arrows. Perfect. The red one, and the yellow one. Perfect. Now we're just gonna grab our zip ties and then just make sure that we zip tie all of these wires back into their spots. All right, so now that all the zip ties are on there, we're just gonna cut them off with our flush cutters. All right. And then that is the installation for the handlebar.
Definitely one of the things to consider on this unit is the handlebars. We have swapped them out, particularly because when I'm out on the street, I want to be able to make those turns when I need to with the dampener on. Sometimes it can be a little bit harder on a shorter bar, but with this longer bar, I'm excited to kind of see what I can do. That way I can get in and out.
Yeah, those longer handlebars will help you return a little bit faster, so for sure.
Fantastic. Great.
All right.
Chief, thank you so much.
No problem.
Now comes the bill. No, I'm always bullshitting. Sorry.
And if you happen to find any of this interesting, or more importantly, if you want to collaborate, check out the link below so that you can send us your comments, any stories you may have, anything, we're happy to entertain it. And this is really about us going on a journey together.